everyone. So welcome back to another episode. Today I've got Todd Shannon joining me. He's a star strength athlete. He lives in the local area. And together we're going to have a chat about the remaining Torian Pro workouts that I haven't actually spoken about. So I've only spoken about the first two. We're only going to discuss the elite individual and the elite team variations and just have a quick chat about some of the workouts. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the hand workout. So this is elite individual workout event number 3. So it's for time, 100-foot handstand walk, 6 rope climbs, 100-foot double kettlebell lunge walk, 100-foot handstand walk, 4 rope climbs, 100-foot double kettlebell lunge, 100-foot handstand walk, 3 rope climbs, 15 feet, and then 100-foot double kettlebell lunge to finish. Has a time cap of 12 minutes. Now, the double kettlebell overhead lunge, if you remember back to the 2017 CrossFit Games, when Cara Saunders and Tia Clayton were battling it out at the end, they were doing a double kettlebell overhead lunge and Tia's arm gave way, and that's how Cara then caught up with her in that workout, and it was like that neck and neck finish decider. Okay, So similar movement in that. We've also got the handstand walk, which is super shouldery, and just that pulling movement of bulk rope climbs. So what are your thoughts on this and having a 12-minute time cap?
Yeah, look, 12-minute time cap. We're looking probably pretty tight for some people. 100 foot is 30 meters for all the Aussies out there. I'm sure being CrossFitters, we all know our feet by now, especially 25 and 50 foot. Very similar to what we did in 2019 Torian Pro. They've taken a little bit more on the lunge there, and the rope climbs were toe to bar. Okay. When I remember doing that one, obviously very shouldery, very upper body endurance, and if you've got a very good handstand walk, you can really file yourself down the lane. You're gonna come away with this one pretty good, I think. I think that's one of the main things on this workout.
I definitely think that it will come down to the handstand walks in this event. So, and being able to obviously rope climb after you've been like upside down, but most people will be quite comfortable with that. But then going into that kettlebell lunge, coming off that and then going straight back into a handstand walk, if you're not a confident handstand walker, that's going to be a bit of a challenge, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the rope climbs as well, you know, a lot of the athletes I have, they've been really working on keeping their arms very relaxed and working with their feet and their legs, okay, because that's going to come in. It's going to come in handy on this one.
Definitely.
Using the legs a lot during those rope climbs.
Yeah.
Very lucky that it's not legless rope climbs, hey?
Oh my god, man. I reckon it would change the dynamics of that workout so much. It wouldn't be the handstand walk, that would be the problem. It would definitely be the legless rope climbs.
Definitely.
Alright, so the teams, it's actually their third event as well. Now, they do 3 rounds for time, 100-foot handstand walk. It says 4 person, so I'm assuming it's something like at the ACC, where it was like a follow the leader. So say if Todd went first, and then I would start following Todd, and then next person, and we would go down the lane like that. Then it's got 20 toes to bar, it's 4-person sync. Okay, so that's not too bad if you actually know your team pretty well. Then it's a 30-foot worm lunge. So it's 3 rounds of that with a 15-minute cap. How do you think this is going to go for people?
Teamwork. Teamwork's going to make the dream work on that one, especially the 20 toe to bar in sync. Like you said, if the team dynamic's pretty good and everyone works together well, I think they'll fly through those toe to bar pretty well. And then it's just going to come down to pretty quick little transitions there. That's what I was just talking about before. That's the workout that we did essentially as individuals.
Yeah.
And that was
little log thing.
Yeah, that was just like transitions, and just getting onto that handstand walk was the main thing for that. Because you can file out toe to bar in the lunge pretty well. Obviously, just teams, they're just gonna have to work as a team really well and just be snappy on the transitions and everything.
Yeah, so I do like it how they've actually brought that workout back. That was pretty much the same as what you guys as an individual last time, but they've changed it into a team variation this time, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's the elite individual and team event 3. Alright, so their next workout that they released was Double Trouble. So for the elite individuals, this is event number 4. What is it for the elite teams?
This is event 5 for Pro-Am teams, event 6 for Pro teams, Master teams, Emerging teams.
Okay, so Pro teams, so the elite teams, is event number 6.
Yep.
So they'll actually be doing it in a different order to the individuals. So for the individuals, it's 2 rounds for time, 30 or 25 calories on the echo bike, 100 drag rope double unders, and then 50 dumbbell hang snatches at 22 and 15. It has a 12-minute time cap. Now, we actually did a team's variation of this workout, and we were able to like move through the workout quite easily and get under the time cap. So with the team's version, what is it?
So it's going to go as a relay. Male-female pair are going to work together to start. It's going to be 30 calories for the boys and 25 for the girls. You both do that together, so both on a bike each. And then it's 200 drag rope dumbbell unders, and that goes in 50, 50, 50, 50 between the pair. And then 50 synchro dumbbell hang snatch with 22 and 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same as the individual one, but they get that chance to break up their drag rope double unders in between.
Yeah.
So.
And it's only 1 round.
Yeah.
And then the next pair goes.
So I think in the team variation, they're going to have to go a lot harder on that echo bike than what the individual competitors are going to do, because they will have to do a full second round of that actual workout. So what do you think is going to be the challenging factor in this workout?
Definitely going to be the drag rope double unders. But what I also like to note is with the echo bike, I've found with the echo bike that you cannot strategically sort of game it as much as an assault bike. With an assault bike, you would have seen guys absolutely selling their soul, getting the 30 done really quick. I feel like the echo bike is a little bit harder to sort of pump the gas on and really churn those calories out. It can be done, but I think the assault bike does it much better.
Yeah, I haven't really used the echo bike very much. Like obviously we don't have one, we only have an assault bike. But yeah, like I've used it a couple of times at other gyms and stuff, and I just feel that it's just such a different machine. Like it's nothing like the assault bike.
Yeah.
I mean, I suck at both, so that's one thing in common. But other than that, nothing I think varies like across both of them. So.
Yeah, definitely different being like the chain on the assault bike, the belt on the echo. You know, as soon as you stop pedaling on that echo, it's just done. And
you don't even get the tick over calories either, which is very sad.
But
so when we were doing it as a partnership, like in our group of 4, probably the thing that some of us struggled on was the drag rope double unders. The hang power snatches, the hang dumbbell snatches, sorry. They were super easy and we were able to hold on the whole time.
Yeah.
It was just that drag rope double under.
Yeah, so time-wise, pick up time obviously on the drag rope, but I think also with the dumbbell hang snatch, you can do that really sort of slow and methodical, which is good for the synchro. But I think the ones that are going to win this one are going to be the ones that are doing that hang snatch really fast. Like Jay and I were for the last, when he said pump up the gas, you saw us sort of going at it. Yeah, it can definitely go a bit quicker there as well, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. So that's Double Trouble. So that's elite individual event number 4 and elite teams event number 6. All right, so the next event that they released was elite individual event number 5. And for the elite teams, it was event number 4 and 5 because the men go separately. They're like event 4, say, and then the women are, say, like event 5, okay? So with the actual workout, it's a clean and jerk ladder. So it'll have all the weights lined out, sort of like they did at the sanctional event in, was it 2019 at Wollongong, down under? And they had the ladder and everyone rotated around. So, but the difference with...
No, that wasn't the case.
I thought everyone stayed on their platform.
Yeah.
So it's like the games.
Yeah, like the games.
Like the games, yeah. So like the games where they like rotate around on each timer.
Yeah,
okay?
That's right. Yeah.
So they'll be told to rotate. They also have an opt-out flag. Okay, so say if you want to skip a weight, you can throw down your opt-out flag and you can skip that weight on the floor as well. So the judge will retrieve the flag and the athlete will then move on to the next station rather than taking on every single weight in the ladder. Okay, but we were talking about this the other day. What if they opt out at the wrong time and then they miss a weight? Like they're going to have to try and get that weight in that same window, or they're going to be like 2 weights below them.
It's going to be a bit of a... They're going to have a good plan in place.
I think it's going to be more of a strategy lifting now that they've got that option in there.
Yeah.
Rather than just brute lifting.
Yeah, and you can just get that, and like when I think you're just going to have to know your sort of limits.
Yeah.
And I would be throwing out that flag, when I know that the next weight is something that I'm, is going to be a weight that's going to benefit from me having a bit of extra rest.
Yeah.
One that I'm relatively confident with, but one that might be just a cheeky little bit of a risk.
Yeah.
Depends, got to risk it sometimes.
So if we look at the weights, now the women's weight starts at 70 kilos, so I'd only be able to hit the first 2 barbells.
There you go.
And then I'd be Gornskis. So it goes for women 70, 75, 79, 84, 88, all the way up to 111. Like, we're probably going to see people like Liv Kelly on the girls' side hit that 111 kilo bar, maybe Cara Saunders, Laura Clifton. On the men's side, it starts at 106 kilos, goes up to 161. Now, I think we're going to see quite a few of the guys hit that 161. So, like Brandon Swan, Royce Dunn. Who else can you think of?
CJ Walker.
Maybe.
The big boys.
Are you really, CJ, going to have a crack at 161? We want to see it happen.
We
All
want
right.
to see it.
Yep.
He's called it on the gram.
Has he?
Oh no, he hasn't. But he's put up.
Todd's challenging you to call it out on the gram.
He's shown us his hard training on the gram. We're gonna see
All
it
I've
out
seen
on that
is him
floor.
complaining. I haven't seen anything else.
I know.
All right, so the weights are actually quite heavy on the guys' side, and they do some they start off. It looks like 5 kilo jumps pretty much the whole way. From what I can see, is pretty much 5 kilo jumps, but in weird numbers.
Yeah, and then it starts to get a little bit funky. Hey, it's kind of cool. I'm keen to see because they are interesting numbers. It's interesting to I don't know how they've decided these numbers. It's very interesting.
But is it in other weights in pounds?
Look, they could be in pounds.
And that might be why they're so weird.
Yes. But either way, it might throw some people off. If you're used to just going to 150 and then 152.5 and then 155, and then you've got up here, it's like 147 to 152, 154. You're just going to have to pick that opt-out flag wisely.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be they're interesting numbers up there.
Definitely. Now, the teams' weights are exactly the same. So I do wonder if all the men from the teams will go out with the elite men as well, because what's the point of having it all set up at the same time if they're not all just going to follow each other out? So maybe the teams will go and then the elite individual men will go, and then they'll do all the women at the same time. So, which I'm assuming that will probably be what will be the case, because they won't want to have to clear the whole floor again.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
All right, so that's the clean and jerk individual elite teams and elite individuals. So the next event they released was Move It or Lose It version 3. Now that tells me that obviously they've had version 1 and version 2 in the past. So you obviously competed at Torian Pro in the past. What is this, like a take on something before? Is there a theme behind this? I'm not 100% sure.
So I believe it was just must have been 2018. There was just Move It or Lose It, which was 1,000 meter bike erg, 8 bar muscle ups, and then sandbag cleans, and you had to do a certain amount of sandbag cleans within that 3-minute window. So you had 3 minutes, 1 minute rest. It's the same format, just with those movements until you did, like, I can't remember, it must have been like 25 or 30 or something sandbag cleans. And then version 2, which was 2019, was 500 meter row, 10 or 8 burpee box overs.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I
you
remember
did this,
yes. I did
and
the
then
same workout, yeah.
and then thrusters. And
Yeah,
then
you had to accumulate a certain amount of thrusters in that time. Yeah.
About 45, I think.
I did not. I don't think our team finished that workout.
I can't remember. But yeah, these are. I can see why they've like done this again, because everyone loves these. These are awesome and really spectator friendly as well.
Yeah.
Watching like the sandbags move down or barbells move down, and I think also it's cool. It's good for like the spectators, but like also for the competitors as well. I remember going into that minute rest. You look around, you have a look at all the barbells. You're like, oh, everyone's sort of dead heated there, and you can sort of like churn through, and you're like, okay, if I gun it here, I'm probably I'm gonna take this or whatever.
It's also very like simple CrossFit.
Oh yeah.
Like just CrossFit in that short minute, go hard as you can and see how long, who's got the biggest engine to be able to keep pushing through that pain case. Because after that first 3 minute window, you're not going to want to get back on that ski. So
the cool thing is Starry's had us do a lot of these. He throws these in, like I think he sort of knew, he knows that there's a version 3 coming. We've done a lot of these, recently, these move it or lose it sort of workouts, variations of. But so now we've got, event 6 now.
So you do get a 1 minute rest in between rounds. So obviously you do your 3 minutes of 20 calorie ski, 15 burpees over the box. Then you pull your sled for as far as you can. You get that 1 minute's rest, and then you have 90 feet to pull. So what you said, 100 feet was 30. So you're probably looking at about 85 meters or something.
Yeah.
Okay, to pull the sled.
No, what was that? 25 meters.
25 meters.
Crikey.
Yeah,
85
meters.
Woo!
Yeah. I pulled it out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
The stadium.
That's a long rope.
So yeah, and it has a time cap of 15 minutes. So that would be what?
That's
max
4 rounds.
4 rounds.
Yeah, that's how it's. Yeah. And that's how it's always been as well. It's always been capped at 4 rounds. Yeah.
Which
so that's
good.
the sled pull will be really, once again, spectator friendly. It'll be even. I think it'll be even better because with the thrusters, for example, you move forward every I don't know what it was. It must be.
I think it was every 10 reps.
Yeah, something like that. And so you can sort of see where everyone is, but with the sled, it's literally like just keep pulling it until it comes over the line, and there's gonna be sleds like that are just gonna be so close to each other, but some that are a little bit far away. It's literally just keep pulling that sled until it's past the line, so you're gonna know exactly where everyone is.
That's right.
Yeah.
So with the elite teams event, so their move it or lose it workout is 5 rounds for time, 10 worm clean and jerks, and then 20 burpees over their worm. And they've got a time cap of 21 minutes. So I've been watching people practice with the worm. It's the best bloopers I've ever seen. Like people just getting knocked out by their worm and stuff. So the teams that are going to do well in that are the teams that have great communication skills, have been really working hard together, and also have access to a worm. So
definitely. Yeah. You don't have access to a worm. Whew.
Look, it could have been 10 worm thrusters.
Yeah.
That's worse.
Yeah.
So I definitely prefer 10 worm clean and jerks than 10 worm thrusters, because you just see the worm go like this because everyone moves at the wrong time.
In Adelaide on the weekend, I bumped into a friend.
Yeah.
And he said that he's doing the pro-ams, and they were just going that day on the Saturday, just going to use the worm for the first time.
Oh.
And I said, make sure you spend a lot of time using that worm, because you're going to need it.
Well, I used the 2-person one in 2020 at Torian Pro, and that was hard enough. I was like, this thing is horrible.
Yeah. 4-person, a lot of communication.
Yeah. A lot of bits and
a lot of
pieces.
Practice.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Just practice.
Yeah. And it's so heavy. Isn't certain sections actually heavier than some others?
Yeah. So there's like a spot for the girls and a spot for the boys.
Oh,
I think it's
I didn't realise that.
100 pound for the boys, 70 for the girls.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there's like spacer bits as well anyway. So yeah, the whole thing's pretty heavy.
Yeah. I bet. Alright, so that's Elite Individual Teams Event 6, Move It or Lose It version 3. Okay. And then the only other event is the final. That's their 7th event. So there's obviously only 7 events over the whole weekend. for the elite teams. So for the elite individuals, I spent number 7, the time 30, 24, 18 chest to bar pull-ups, 15, 12, 9 thrusters, but they're a little bit heavier than normal. So 70 kilos for guys, 47 kilos for ladies. The time cap is pretty tiny. It's 7 minutes, okay? So how do you think people are going to go with this workout?
This is going to be just absolute burner. Yeah. It's both of those movements. Like we got pretty chunky sets of chest to bar there.
Yep.
Coupled with that thruster, it's sort of like, it sort of seems like it's on the cusp of, can this be done unbroken by some people?
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming it will be.
There will be some people who will definitely go unbroken, I think.
And that'll be like, there'll be a few up there, but then, as we start to see them sort of break down a bit, it's going to get very interesting towards, the usual 21, 15, 9.
Yeah.
24 on the 12 is where it's going to get a bit hairy, I think.
That middle round, even when you do Fran, like that middle round of the 15 and that's 15 for each both, isn't it? Yeah. So it's like your messy kind of one. Then you obviously you finish strong because you got your 9s and you're going to be done.
That's right.
But yeah.
But even so, your 9 is actually 18 chest to bar pull-ups.
Yeah, so it's not a small number again. Yeah,
it's still it's pretty chunky sets there. I think the thruster will be. I think that'll be pretty fine for these guys. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the reps aren't super high. They're not super high. The weight's not too much more than what, they would usually do if they were doing a heavy Fran or something like that. So usually it'd be 60 and 42.5, I think, for, say, heavy Fran. So this is 70 and 47. So it's not really excessively too much more.
Yeah.
But this is the last event.
Yep.
How are they going to feel at the end?
They're going to be knackered.
That's the thing.
Gonna know my